I'm hoping that my videos will help somebody, because I know I've been helped by a lot of people just walking out in the woods and taking videos. It's just it's awesome. But there's nothing better than doing it. So that's the announcement I have now. I'm going to be starting the Florida National Scenic Trail in January. So January, hopefully 1st or 2nd. It's a 1,200 mile trail from South Florida all the way to Pensacola, Florida, the border of Alabama. So normally it starts on the southern end. It starts in the Everglades, and you hike 20-30 miles through Big Cypress Swamp, and it's a pretty intense experience on a normal year, where there's water on the trail. The trail is there, it's marked on trees, but the trail can have 2 feet of water more if the rains have been hard. So this year we have had an extraordinary amount of water down there. It's flooded. So I called the Florida Trail Association, talked with her there, and she said, it's probably a good idea if you skip it, because you're going to be needing a boat to get through there. I mean, if the water normally comes to my knees, if we're flooded, it could come to your waist, and what's the point in swimming up here for 30 miles? So it doesn't make any sense. Plus, it lifts those animals out of those grasses, and they're just floating right by you, and I just don't want to deal with that. So they're recommending we start this year over on the East Coast, somewhere over there by Jupiter, Florida, I think it is. But the Ocean to Lake Trail connector brings you to Lake Okeechobee from the beach. Then you head north, and there's a couple different routes you can take to get to Pensacola. And we can talk more about that on another video. So I've been training for that as best I can. I did what I've really been doing is concentrating updating my equipment a little bit. It still cost me $1,000 or whatever it was, but I could have spent another $1,000 really to get it really high end and lightweight and all that stuff. But I'm just not going to do that. I want to enjoy the hike. I don't want to be worried about money. I already have some of this equipment already, so I just kind of updated mostly my clothing. I was wearing cotton and jeans, shorts, and heavier things, and taking an extra jacket and an extra pair of boots and all that stuff. When I did New Mexico a couple of years ago, it was ridiculous. I had 65 pounds on my back because I didn't know what I was doing, even though I researched it. So with that in mind, I know that the best way to figure these, to find to get good at this through hiking, long distance hiking, and this will be my first real long distance hike. You just got to do it, right? You got to, like anything, practice. So I'm up here in north of Brooksville, Florida, kind of in the middle of the state. There's a lot of hiking up here. In fact, the Florida Trail's goes through here on this side. And I'm going to be hiking the Citrus Tract tomorrow, and that's like a 3 to 4 day hike. I think I'll make it 4 days. And the whole purpose of it is a training ground, just to go hike, set up your equipment, spend the night, break down, hike again, just like you're going to be doing on a through hike. And then do that 4 days, and then come back. I'm here close to home, so if there's any problems, I'm right here near home. I'm not 100,000 miles away. I know the area really well, so I can then come back and then check on my gear and go, well, I don't need that much food. The big weight, I've got that 65 pounds down to 28, and that is such a big step for me. I think I can get it down lower, because I think a lot of that weight is food, and I think I might have too much food. Everything else has to be there. I need it, but the only other way to get the weight down is to sell my tent and get a cheaper or a lighter tent. My tent is a Lynx 1 one-person tent, and it's a great little tent. It pops up, standing, freestanding basically. And it's got the little expandable frames and all that, you can set it up in a minute, literally 2 minutes, and that's why I like it. But it weighs 4.5 pounds, so that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot for a one-man tent especially. So you can get a 2-man tent from Z-Packs or one of these other different materials, better quality, higher end, very expensive $600, $700 tent that weighs 15 ounces or 12 ounces or whatever it is, 14 ounces, I don't know. It's under 2 pounds. That right there is 2.5 pounds out of my pack. I also have the MSR cook stove. Some guys that go very light, they don't even take a stove. They just eat everything cold. I kind of want to take a stove the first time, see how I feel about it. But the stove I have is one I bought prior, and it's a really nice high-end, kind of like a jet boil. It's an MSR wind burner. It's all self-contained. But it's heavy. It's heavier than I think it's 15. It's about a pound, maybe more, total weight. And then you can get an alternative little rocket pocket that weighs 4 ounces. So, plus the cup. So I mean, it's about twice as much as other rigs. That could be shaved down. My sleeping bag is a 0 degree down quilted sleeping bag, copper spur or something. I can't remember what it's called. Very expensive, super expensive. And I really chose it. I got it extra length because I'm 6'3" and I really love the thing. It's probably too warm for this, but we're gonna find out. We are in the winter, so we're getting some colder nights. But it also, because it's warmer, it's got more material, a little bit heavier, but it's also just a pain to pack. So that's something I probably would fix later. But right now, I'm not spending more money to buy another $400 sleeping bag. The main thing I can focus on right now is clothing, to get rid of all the heavy clothing, and then to get these kind of breathable merino wool type shirts that really just one shirt. I'll have a pair of shorts on in this shirt. That's my main hiking rig. And then when we have cold days, I have a merino fleece to pull over that, and some hiking pants that are very, very light. I'm going to be using running shoes to try to do the whole thing, because I think that's what I always hike in Florida. It's a lot of water, a lot of flat sand, so I'm used to wearing those. What else? That's basically it. So just trying to get my pack weight down, trying to practice, and I'm hoping to take this gimbal with me. It's a little bit heavy, this thing that I use for filming, and just do my whole trek, taking pictures and video with my iPhone. This iPhone, I think it's an iPhone 11 Pro X, the big one. Just the last one they had before the latest update. Fantastic cameras on this thing, so I'm not going to take any extra cameras. Just trying to get all those things figured out, and then walk 1,200 miles like a crazy person. January, February, March, I'm giving myself 90 days. I think that's more than enough to be done by April 1st or so. And then I'll go back to work sometime around then, hopefully. But I'm off until then. So I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm happy that I've figured out some of these things. I'm going to find out this weekend and test it a little bit more. And then I'm hoping that by the 1st of January, New Year's, I'll be down there and I'll be walking. And if you want to follow along, I'm going to try to do a daily log or every other day or something close to that. I've seen, I think his name is Chris Berry. He did a cool, just a very simple daily log of, day 3, day 12, day 15, and like a 5-10 minute video every day. And I love that. That actually got me inspired to do this trail in 2016, I think he did. And of course, there's Jupiter Hikes, who's well known in the hiking community. I'm starting to realize that. Great videos. I got a lot of great information from him, so thank you for that. I'm going to try to complete this thing, and then when the weather dries out next year, whenever I can get back down to do that 30 or 40 miles in the Everglades, I'm going to go back down there and do that so that I can be considered somebody that completed it from end to end. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I've been waiting for this for 4 or 5 years, so wish me luck. And pay attention to the channel, because I'm going to start uploading some stuff again. Kind of comes in spurts like this when I have time. So, but honestly, the last thing I want to say, the reason for the channel, as I said in the beginning, is to detox from society, but also alcohol, addictions, depression, just the things that we deal with. I deal with drinking, I deal with those things, and from my life as a musician, and I'd rather battle it in the way, I do that even when I'm not hiking, but the way that I battle that and stay out of that is stay busy. If you can sit home, get bored, get depressed, or worried about COVID, it's easy to drink. In fact, addiction, depression, suicide is just going through the roof because of COVID-19 shutdowns and all this stuff. So for me, this is kind of a going to rehab, if you will, a self-imposed cutoff from those things, you know, and just enjoying nature, where I do feel kind of a spiritual recharge and reconnect. I feel like a different person. So, and I like the hard work too, that the challenge of it, and physical work is also good for us. So nomadic traveling, recovery, a lot of different ways you can apply that to yourself. So I hope you guys like it. All right, see you.